Welcome back to the channel. My name is Todd Jordan. In today's video, we're going to cover 3 things that you absolutely must do when you're working with your real estate professional. Let's get to it. So number 1 on our list of things you absolutely must do is you've got to be honest, okay, with your agent. And when I say honest, I don't mean that most of our clients would ever be dishonest. I don't think they're ever not telling us the truth. But they're not telling us everything, I guess you could say, or not being very transparent or open about their situation. And here's what I mean by that. Not just how many bedrooms and baths and square footage and that what you're looking for in a home. Yes, budget, we'll talk about that in a minute, but I'm talking about things such as what's going on situationally with you guys in your move. What is your realistic timeline? Is it really what you're telling me that you're not going to move for 6 months? Or do you plan to not move for 6 months, but you're in a position that when you come in for your visit, if you found the perfect home, then you would go ahead and move that timeline up. The other thing I would say is we want to know things about you such as your comfort zone. What type of area are you comfortable in? Those are the things that people usually don't want to open up about as far as what we're comfortable in. A very small percentage of you want to share with us your fears. I say this all the time. If you've worked with us, you've heard me say it 100 times. If you're moving, it is a big deal. And I know some of you have done it multiple times. It's still a big deal. Why? Because basically, except for the family unit that's moving, you have to recreate everything else. Friends, where you get your haircut, where you go to the dentist, where you go to the doctor. Everything's going to change. That has to create some tension and fear, or it does in most people. Maybe it's not just about those things. Maybe it's a fear of relocating to the wrong area and you're not sure if the area you're looking at is the right area because you're worried about a certain thing that you don't want to ask because you don't want to offend the agent who's from that area or whatever. Or you don't think they'll be honest with you. If you don't think you can trust the professional that you're going to work with, move on to somebody that you can trust. We need to know what you enjoy outside the home. Are you homebodies? Are you people who want to go out and eat all the time? On the weekends, do y'all like to get out and walk or hike? That will affect where you're going to be happy living because you're going to have to commute to these things and do these things. We need to know a lot about you. Now, if you work with us, one of the things that we do that I've learned over the years is very, very important is we have a Zoom meeting, basically require it with all clients. Both partners have to be in the Zoom. Let's say if you're moving to Knoxville and you say, we really think we like the Farragut area, we found this home and we really like it, and we're going to be coming down in a week, and we're in a position that if we find the right home while we're there, we're going to go ahead and buy. And that agent says, okay, great. We'll get that set up, and what's your budget, and 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and everything they talk about are the bricks and the sticks. They don't say, so do you have any children? What do you enjoy doing? What are your all's hobbies? If they don't immediately start learning about you and spending as much time as you'll give them between now and when you get here to do that, they're not the right agent. I'm telling you, they're not the right agent, even if you like them. The reason I say that is this. I can't tell you how many clients have to relist properties here in our area where they did exactly that. They think they know the area enough. The reality of it is they get here, they look at the home, they go, oh, it's great. They say, what about the subdivision? Agent says, this is a good subdivision. There's another good subdivision right over here. You look at 2 or 3 homes, they seem to know the area, but they never learn about you. They buy that home, and then 2 years later, they're listing that home because what they've learned is we love the home. It's not in the right area for us, for everything else. So you've got to be honest. So number 2 on the list is you've got to communicate. You have to have a line of communication. You're being open and honest when you talk, but you're not talking much. We have very low inventory here still. I have a term I've coined called buyer fatigue, and it's real here in this area for many people who are looking to relocate. And so when that happens, communication is everything. If you feel frustrated, especially with something going on in the process, share that with your agent. They need to know. The agent needs to be able to be accessible. Okay? Don't sign up with somebody on a team and you speak to them and after that you never speak to them again. You know, you ought to be able to text your agent. You ought to be able to email your agent. You ought to be able to call your agent. You need to know that your real estate agent is honest. You need to really trust that they're sincere. They care about you. Yes, we have a lot of clients. Agents have multiple clients, but I can tell you about all of our clients. And we have other things that we do, such as record the Zooms, keep them in AI, turns them into notes. We have a system to help us make sure that we know you and we're able to communicate with you effectively because we know what's important to you. But we need that in reverse. We need you to communicate with us, especially when you're frustrated, right? If you move a timeline, if you have a hiccup, right? Maybe you go and get pre-approved, and you find out, oh my goodness, with the new rates where they are today, we are not comfortable with the budget we gave you. It's okay. You just let me know. And any good real estate buyer's representative is going to be that way. They're okay with it. The key is that there's good communication. And if you perceive, or I perceive, or your agent perceives a lack of that, we need to be able to have a relationship that's good enough and open enough that we can share that and correct it, because this is a true partnership when we're helping you buy. If you're looking for an agent to open the door and make it transactional, I'm telling you, in my opinion, that is a tremendous mistake no matter where you're moving across the country, especially if you're relocating. I would say that at any point in time, but especially if you're relocating. So before we get into number 3, I want to say this. If you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so. We're putting out usually 3 videos a week between me and my daughter, who works very closely with me. A lot of our content is like this, trying to give you insight based on my 20 years experience in helping people relocate. Now, let's get to number 3. Number 3 on our list is listen to the advice that you're paying for. If you've been honest and I've been honest, if you said to me early on, Todd, we want to spend not a dime over $600,000, and you were telling me the truth, and I have listened to that. At the same time, you are saying, but we want to be in this area, and here's what we want. I want to be in Farragut, and I want 3,000 square feet. The home needs to be built in the last 10 years, and I need a ½ acre of land. If I say, okay, great, we'll make that work, I wouldn't be being 100% honest with you. Now, you don't know that, but that's the truth, because it's going to be very difficult. What I should have said to you as your agent is, there's a chance we could find that home, but it's going to be very, very difficult. So what we're going to need to do is expand the area, or expand the budget, or decrease the size of the home. I have to have that conversation with you. You're paying us for our experience, understanding, and things in the area. If we have trust, honesty, and trust and communication, as we've talked about earlier, amongst each other, then this number 3 is obvious, because if not, you're going to get very frustrated, and then we have other issues. So taking that advice, taking advice on what a home's value is. I have people all the time who say, well, let's just offer them X. Well, they only paid this for it. And I'm very direct to explain to you, yes, they paid $60,000 less for that house 10 months ago. You say, well, why is it worth that now? Because it's for sale. There's nothing else on the market, and you weren't here 6 months ago to buy it, or 10. And so if you're looking for a home in this subdivision today with this specifics, this is what it's going to cost. It's that simple. The market demands the price. You need someone you can trust. You need someone you can communicate with. You need someone who will be honest with you. Because why? Because at the end of the day, you're paying us as real estate professionals for our expertise and our knowledge, and you need to know that you're getting honest, experienced, credible information back so you can make a decision. I hope you find these videos informative. I know they're not very entertaining, but I hope they're informative, because that's what they're for. If you do, like I said earlier, a thumbs up. We'd love to have those, guys. And until next time, I absolutely can't wait to see you around Knoxville soon.